What is up, everyone? And we are now back with episode 3 of my team journey. We did okay in the last race, which was nice. And in this episode, we are going to make adjustments to our team colors to match the car livery, since I wanted to make it as representative as possible. So we're going to apply a touch of gold for the team's icon of his colors, and of course some black. And I was very particular on what kind of gold I was after, so I went back onto the driver's overalls color settings to see what it was, so I can copy that onto the team's look, which is precisely what we did in a few moments time. The last race was pretty fun, I must say. But even though we did run out of fuel, which is frustrating. But in hindsight, we did get ourselves a new sponsor slot, and I was flickering through, seeing what was available, and there was quite a few to choose from. But I wanted to be realistic, so we ended up going with after flickering about Distord, I think is how you pronounce it. That's our final. That was our sponsor for that we signed for till it renews anyway, and eventually signs up to it. There we go. And so we applied that to the car. I wanted to put it on the nose to begin with, see how it goes, and put it into like black font color, and then goes on top of the car's when the air goes through the engine. And we made some upgrades. We upgraded a bit of the engine so we could be faster on the straights, because that's where we're lacking a little bit. I will go with hopefully in time for Imola. And we did some daily activities for the team because they need some work doing. We don't want to keep them bored. So we ended up doing the second driver's PR filming, which we're getting some cash, some reaction training, some aero building, because we really need to get our team's morale high. And we had a bit of money to spare, so I ended up spending a bit of perk for to get our claim up by 10% whenever we earn them. So we press forward in time, and hopefully we get some upgrades. No, we don't get any upgrades this time around. And so we head over to Australia, and we get this one out of the way, just because I just wanted to press on with it. We managed to do it fine. It took a few attempts, but we got through in the end with this Pirelli hot lap challenge. And I didn't record the practice sessions because, to save a bit of time, I wanted to just do it off screen. And I did make some setups to like help suit my driving style for this new Australian Albert Park track, I must say. And yeah, I must be honest, it's actually a nice flowing track. It's pretty fast, especially up to where I think turn 9, turn 10 used to be. Correct me if I'm wrong. I probably need to go back and see what it was from the original layout. And so before we head into qualifying, I did one more upgrade, which I think it was the gearbox upgrade. Because I wanted to make sure that our car is reliable for the gearbox, which was what we did. So without further ado, let's get into qualifying. So this is our first qualifying of the session for Australia, and I had a pretty good feeling about this. But when we went out on track here, it was not a good lap. It wasn't feeling like a good lap at all. We also were almost there, which was not ideal. I was pushing hard at the same time, but it just didn't quite feel right, the lap. Which is very annoying. We come around to this corner here. We clip the curb. Oh my word! We lost the rear.
You are an idiot!
God's sake, we are out of qualifying. That's rather annoying. That's never happened before. Oh my god. So, with that in the mud, which is not ideal, we'll be starting at the back. And while we're starting at the back, we might as well take some engine penalties, because we've got nothing to lose. So I went for the ones that were like above 50%, because they will, when components are like above 50%, they will cause more wear on other components. So, without further ado, let's get into the race.
Welcome to the Australian Grand Prix in Melbourne for what no doubt will be an intense day of racing. The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously. It's a combination of slippery surfaces and difficult corners, making it a very tricky track when it comes to overtaking. Drivers find it hard to pass and will need to take full advantage of those DRS zones if they want to have any hope of breaking through. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Sainz, George Russell, and Hamilton, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Ricciardo, and Valtteri Bottas, Magnussen, Ocon, Pierre Gasly, and Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher, Albon, Sebastian Vettel, and Guan Yu Zhou, Stroll, Oscar Piastri, Latifi, and Phoenix. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So we know I'm starting last, which is inevitable, and I wanted to go long in this race, so I decided to start on the hard tyres in hoping we could get a good overcut on all the other drivers in later on in the Grand Prix. Because the rain also is due to come, is what made me think that. So the formation lap begins with Max Verstappen on pole position and his teammate alongside him, from what I last checked. I do like this formation lap. I'm not gonna lie. There's a feature on here where you can do like the whole formation lap broadcast mode, which is cool. 5 red lights, and we're underway now. Well, third race of the season, and it's a woeful start. Absolutely woeful. We had no grip off the line at all. These hard tyres are not great at all. So we go for the first corner, very close to the field, and it's all bunch up for position. We can try and get alongside Stroll, which doesn't work. We try and get alongside Latifi, doesn't quite work. So we get onto the outside of both of them. Hit turn 3, doesn't quite stick. We go wide, which is not helpful at all. Understeer, it's ridiculous. So the TV gets us here. So much understeer, heavy car as well. The tyres slowly started to warm up by the time we got here to lap 2, and we're alongside the TV on the outside of the straight here. Can we get him? We just managed to get in front of him. Nice move on the outside of that turn there. Here's the replay here on the outside towards the turn here. Nicely done. Nicely there. So we then press on after our teammate Oscar Piastri. He comes back at us, Latifi, on the outside. You're right, mate. The goat is starting to come alive also. But we managed to leave him off and fend him off for the time being. So we come up to Piastri, our teammate, who is nowhere in this race at the moment. So we tried the same maneuver that we did on Latifi on the outside, which works a treat. We managed to get in front. We go wide a bit, and we just sort of lost momentum there. And so he's gone off. Oh boy, sorry. That wasn't quite. He just went straight on. He could have just braked. Sorry, I ruined his race. Well, that's not what was in the plan. But anyway, we press on forward. We brake super late there, trying to get past Stroll. It did take a while to get past him, I won't lie. Just purely because of the straight line speed that he has. We get a good run on there. We get DRS on down this straight down here. We go on the outside. Stroll's on the inside. Do we make it stick? We don't quite. He locks up, goes wide. We do the undercut switch, and we get him down. And we left it in the dirt. Nicely done. Here's the replay footage here on the outside. He breaks late. We broke early. We do the switcheroo on the inside, and that's a nice move there. On the onboard footage here from us here, and the onboard footage on Stroll here. He just took me a bunch of the curb. It's playful. Charles Leclerc is in on lap 6, I believe. Very early stop. And he's on the soft tires. Now he's going on to mediums. Very early stop for some reason. I don't know why he put it so early. He was doing well in the up front. I think he was 3rd at the time. But we've just managed to get out in front of him, just about. Thanks to the overtake with Stroll, we were able to press on forward and get ahead of the Ferrari. I was thinking that he was going to overtake us without a trouble at all, considering how fast that Ferrari is. But anyways, we press on forward, we go wide there. This understeer in this car is horrendous. We try and get past Guan Yu Zhou. We took lots of momentum there, which is not ideal at all. Oh, this yellow flag's in, and Charles Leclerc is out! Charles Leclerc's out with an engine failure. Oh my word. That's not what he was hoping for. Oh no. That is such a shame. He was doing well in this race, but that's such a shame. So we get DRS on Guan Yu Zhou here. We go on the inside. He moves to the left of the event. Then we go wide. Oh my god. We went in too deep there. So we went wide. He gets back at us. That is not ideal. We've got to do it all over again. Yeah, we just went in too hot into that first turn. And then we just went wide. And he managed to get back to us. He almost went straight. We almost went straight into him. Sorry. That wasn't ideal. But that's racing for you. So we press on forward. Trying to get past it. It took a little bit longer than I would have wanted. So he brakes here. Oh, he was super late. Oh, we just hit him. He broke well early. It just caught me out by surprise there. So we get a nice run down here. Trying to get on the inside, hopefully. Do we try and make it stick here? No, we don't quite make it stick. He gets a terrible run out of there. So hopefully we can get him on the straight in. No, we don't. So, like I say, it was taking a while to get past him. We broke super late there. We try to do the switcheroo. We go on the outside. Nicely done it. Max Verstappen's out. Max Verstappen's out of the Grand Prix with an engine failure by the looks of it. Oh no. Just like real life. What a shame there. What an absolute shame. Safety car's out. The Guan Yu Zhou just goes wide. How is that possible? So the safety car's been brought out. Music to my ears, I won't lie. Because it means we were able to get a nice, almost effectively free pit stop from this. Which we end up doing. We go straight into the pits to put on a set of medium compound tires. They're hard tires, but just not a good race tire at all, I must admit. The grip levels was just not there. It was horrible. Today we make our pit stop here. And we just, we got hold up just slightly, but that's fine. We rejoined behind Pat Gasly. We could have gone ahead of him. It didn't quite happen, thanks to us having to stationary for it to go past. Anyway, we started to get back on and running with the green flag settings. Just trying to get our tyres warmed up as much as possible and our brakes. And we managed to get a good run on here. They're all on hard tyres. We will have the advantage with fresh rubber and faster tyres. He goes wide there. Trying to get alongside him on this straight into the first turn. He goes to defensive. We go around the outside. Around the outside of turn 1. Nicely done there. Very good. That was what we was hoping for. Do a nice switcheroo on the outside of turn 1 and left him for dead. Nicely done. Nicely done in there. But is he on board for Pierre Gasly? He just something like just goes it deep or something? I don't know, it makes no sense. Anyway, we broke away from Pierre Gasly and we have not too long up towards Albon. We're trying to get to do the same thing on him. We don't get DRS until 3 laps. So we're doing nice ERS boost on the inside. Nicely done to turn 1. We're making the most of this safety cars restart with the whole field bunched up, which is precisely what we need to do in hopes to get good points this afternoon. Nicely done on the inside of turn 1 from us, passing Alex Albon in the Williams. And not too long, we will head up towards Alex. Esteban Ocon. See how it was like last race, right? We go on the outside. Nicely done. I did feel like a little touch on something on the rear. Don't know what happened. So we go on the outside. Unlike last race, which took a while to get past him, and he kept passing us again, which was more fun. So you see the onboard footage, and he does tap us slightly. Thankfully, no damage to us, or even a puncture. We broke super late here, turning towards Sebastian Vettel's Aston Martin, trying to reel him in. We go wide here, it doesn't quite work. And so we can go up to Sebastian Vettel. Hopefully we can go on the inside here. No, we don't quite make it stick. We weren't quite fast enough. We didn't get good momentum out of here. We get DRS, well, he gets DRS too. But it's just not quite there. We brake super late though, but just not quite there. He was quite fast in the straight, I won't lie. We got on the inside here. Very braking here. We don't quite make it stick. It's just a shame. Esteban Ocon's keeping us for company, which is adding more pressure. Oh, we almost lost the rear there. Jeez Louise. Oh boy. But we try and press on. Hope you're getting past it. And then by the time we got to the next lap, we were much closer to Sebastian Vettel than we were the previous lap. Hopefully we can be able to get him on this next straight here. We get a good run out of here. We go a little bit wide around the corner, which is not ideal. So we get the slipstream and we're using the boost to hopefully get past Sebastian Vettel. And we go on the inside, side by side actually. He puts us onto the grass almost. Side by side action between the Aston Martin and the Phoenix Motorsport. And we just get ahead of him. Nicely done there. That turning point is becoming our favourite spot for the whole Grand Prix. Look, push us on the grass slightly. This nice wheel-to-wheel action there. Nicely done from us. We get down the inside and we manage to get past Sebastian Vettel with ease for P12. So we push on to Michael Schumacher's son, Mick Schumacher, in the Haas, who was squabbling with AlphaTauri's Yuki Tsunoda up there for 10th place, the final points position, which is crucial. This is something we are dreading to have to get points in our team for the season. So we get the RS here, we get super lane. My God, he's broke super early there. We did try to do the switcheroo on him, but it didn't quite work out for us, I mean. And so we get a bit understeer in this corner. Following the AI here is not fun, especially when you're in the fast corners. We go on the inside here. This one is not too difficult. He puts us on the grass slightly, but we were just able to get ahead of him thanks to the slipstream with Yuki Tsunoda and heading straight into this turn here. And we get a nice DRS in for Yuki Tsunoda. So here's a replay. Us getting past Mick Schumacher without trouble. Nicely done from us. And we're up to P11. And we get a nice run out of there. Hopefully to get past Yuki Tsunoda up to this point here. We're coming up to the braking zone here. We brake late. He brakes late. We don't do quite use the switch. We get nice traction over here. Side by side action. Coming up to this turn here. Rounding outside. Nice move there. Nicely done. We're now up into P10 in the points position. Rounding outside. Nicely done. Cool as you like. Up into the points for the first time this season. Well, I say that. We were up in the points in the last race, but then we made a pit stop because that just happened.
Okay, you're in the top 10. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 11.7 seconds.
Thank you very much. I was hoping Piastri would be able to get some momentum. And the clouds started hovering over the track. We go super wide there. I'm surprised we didn't get a track warning, which was lucky. So this is the lead. This is the leaders off front with Carlos Sainz chasing down Sergio Perez. Perez goes wide. Sainz gets on the inside. Almost tries to do what we did to him, but on the inside this time, side-by-side action. Do we see what happens? No, we don't quite see what happens. Well, I think Sainz just got ahead of Perez in the end, judging by the mini-map, which I kind of lost focus on throughout the Grand Prix. We pulled away from Yuki Tsunoda up from 10th place. We were closing in on Daniel Ricciardo's McLaren. I really was pushing hard to get the extra points for the team. But at first, spots of rain is sliding straight to our visor. Oh dear. It did say it was going to rain in the next few minutes or so, and our first spots of rain is starting to occur. But somehow it's not occurring very quickly, but we go wide there, and then we don't get another track warning. Surprisingly, again. But we continue to press on, and we continue doing like fast lappers and personal best for us. I did switch to the intermediate setup for the next pit stop, just in case it gets horrendous. As rain continues to fall down, as the track starts to get slightly greasy, and we go wide, or just kept in the track limits. By the time we could continue the laps down, the track was getting ever so more greasy, making it very hard to follow the guys up ahead. We were 1.6 seconds behind Ricardo at some point, and throughout this race, towards the final lap area, this was the kind of position we stadium. We go wide here. The track condition is getting absolutely worse. Not ideal at all, but we were pushing so hard. This is the closest that we managed to get to for the McLaren. 1.6 seconds away for 9th place. But with the track just starting to get a bit damper, we just haven't got the pace nor the grip to follow him, suit him, which is a shame. So Carlos Sainz comes around the final corner just ahead of Perez and Russell in the Mercedes for 3rd place to win the Australian Grand Prix, his first race of the season and his first race in Formula 1. Nicely done. A new winner in Formula 1. As for us, we just managed to tippy-toe out of the last 2 corners to head straight to the line for our first points in history for Phoenix Motorsport. What a drive.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today and a stunning win for Ferrari.
So congratulations to Carlos Sainz. What's weird here, looking at this, it's almost like a carbon copy of what happened in the real life Australian Grand Prix for this year, where a Ferrari's retired, a Red Bull's retired, a Mercedes gets on the podium in George Russell, and Perez gets on the podium for Red Bull. But it's Carlos Sainz that wins, rather than Charles Leclerc. Parallel universe. Amazing. And scary, to say the least. So, we managed to get driver of the day, which was amazing, starting last up to P10. And Piastri just partly my fault at the same time, but on the other hand, I would have thought he would bounce back from the safety car, but it wasn't to be. So we get our first points of the season. We head up straight up to 13th, past Esteban Ocon and everyone else, and only 3 behind. We are literally 3 points behind AlphaTauri at this stage. This managed to get us a whole lot of acclaims boost, which was amazing, which is just what we needed. So I'm hoping that with these upgrades that will be coming on soon for the car in the coming weeks will be crucial, especially for Imola. Imola is a very fast track and very old school, and I love it there. I wish I could go there in real life though. So here's the replay. Also, I say the highlights of the Grand Prix. It was a Red Bull front row. It was, and excuse for what I said earlier. And yeah, it was almost like a copy of real life in terms of race results for the top 3. Just Carlos Sainz winning, not Charles Leclerc. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So this was a really fun race. I really enjoyed this race. I know that I said last time I enjoyed it, especially the squabbling between Esteban Ocon and us. But this race, it was a squabbling with almost every team. With the likes of Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull. But we still got a lot of work to do for this car. And we need to get our facilities upgraded as soon as possible, as soon as we have the money as well. But one step at a time is what we can always do. So I do want to thank everyone for watching, and I will be trying to be uploading more content, hopefully, on daily. But with everything going around with life itself, it's a bit tricky. So I just want to say thank you for taking your time to watch my video, and So please feel free to subscribe to me for more content and leave a like to this video because it really will mean a lot. It really will. And so I just want to say thank you, and I will see you all in the next video for Imola, for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, where I think will be our first sprint race of the season, which I'm quite excited for. So without further ado, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.